Alright, so what you can do at this point in time, you've got one bar, fits in the car, looks pretty good, happy with it. Take it off, use it as a template to do your other bar, except obviously a mirror image. So you possibly don't even need to measure things, you can just mark it off and say you started that bend radius there, so the other one will be the other side. I use the weld line where the pipe's joined, which is a straight line that runs the whole way along the pipe. You can use that as a guide for a starting point for your radiuses. So basically you line it up with a known point on your bender, and then any changes, like especially with these laterals, they have one bend on one plane, another one on a completely different plane, so you can use that as a guide, and you know that you started 5-10 millimeters off that center line, and that's worked out well, so you can start with that and see where you're at. Alright, better keep going. Anyway, the lateral bars both been done. Quite tricky with that extra bend at the end. I wouldn't normally do it that way. That's just the way it is on this cage, so never mind. You can see all the angles are all pretty good, line up with the car nicely, and it's right out at the extremities. It's actually, it just touches on the inside of the frame at the top corners there, and also we've got the windscreen bar in there, so that's been done quite carefully to get that up as high as possible and still be able to weld 360 degrees all the way around there. The bar could have gone up a little bit higher, and also could have put it up even higher, still tacked it in place, then dropped the rear of the lateral bars down off the main hoop and repositioned it so I could weld more, but that gets yucky. Things go wrong when you do things like that, and then you go to put it back in the hole and it doesn't fit. So anyway, that bar there is in there, horizontal bar. There's a technical term for that, but that'll do. It just gives it a bit more support, stops the side of the car being punched in if you have a big crash, and the door bars, they come up to here anyway, join onto that and gives it all some more support there. Made that lower door bar there, that one's in, not welded yet, nicely notched in there. Look at that, that's a good notch, isn't it? Beautiful. Actually not bad welding there too, eh? So that's why he's here, is to get the job done properly. Originally I was going to come pick it up tomorrow, probably pushing things a little bit to try and get this all done for tomorrow. That's a big ask. It's quite hot. I don't work all that fast when it's hot. You just end up cooking yourself and making mistakes. So we'll shift it to Sunday, maybe even Monday. He's not that worried, like it's going to be a while before this car's on the road anyway, so we'll do that. Alright, cool. This thing's never going to be finished. I keep slacking off, having drinks and playing on the internet, having lunch with my family, so it's, what is it, 20 to 3, Saturday. I've started welding the foot plates in. So I've got those welds at the front there, hardest ones to do in there. That was a bit of a challenge, although you can see it quite easily. It's quite hard to get the torch in there. I knew that would be the worst one of the lot, so those are done. You don't have to weld 100% of the way around the foot plates. Sometimes it's better to, let's call it stitch weld, so you leave a few gaps here and there, so in the event of high tensile steel that they tend to make modern cars out of cracking, it won't crack the whole way around the entire weld, it'll just stop at a given point. So both main hoop foot plates are done, and that rear stay one was done. Again, that's another one, although you can see it, not actually easy to get in there and weld that. So just about to start on this one here, and then we'll get on with the front ones, which will be a bit of a challenge, and then those side bars, door bars. So there's a couple other, there's diagonals that go onto the B pillars as well. So g'day, so it's Sunday and I'm working, no surprise to anyone really, right? So anyway, I've got those top welds that we've been talking about on these diagonals that are way up in here. That's sorted, bit of a tricky thing to do, but that's done anyway. These plates here are actually reused. They've come across from the original cage. I mean, it's a piece of flat steel, there's really no harm in using that again. Nicely TIG welded onto there, beautiful, beautiful. Next thing we're doing is I'm putting these door bars in, a diagonal that starts at the bottom corner there, comes up to about where the harness bar is there. It's certainly where it is on the original cage that we're more or less copying. Just got to fit the doors up just quickly, and make sure that wherever those bars were in the original cage wasn't an issue with door handles and stuff like that. Like, sure, they fitted in the original cage with the original car, etc. We don't know that that might have had 1mm of clearance for a door handle to work, so we copied the cage and then we put the doors on. It's a disaster. So want to put the doors on, make sure what we're doing is right. Spoken with the owner just before. He's sorry about that hum. He's pretty happy with everything that's gone on so far, what he's seen. He hasn't seen the car in person, so we'll see what happens when he when he turns up. It'll be fine. He's on his way over from where he lives soon, and yeah, I'll get this finished. We've got about 3 hours, I suppose, to get 4 bars in. Well, it's really kind of 6, isn't there, really? Because there's 2 main bars and then 4 little pieces, so it's actually 6 bars. So, and a couple of pretty serious notches, but hey, it doesn't matter if he actually turns up and we're still doing a couple of little bits of weld. That's all good. We'll just have a yarn and he can have a watch, and he might even drive the camera for you. So anyway, I'll get on with it. Alright, it's quite late on Sunday. Owner will be here soon. We've got 2 bars left to go. They'll probably take an hour and a half, something like that, just because of the nature of the beast. That's cool. He might film something for you when he's here, or not. We'll see how he goes with the camera. But it's that humming that everyone complains about from the gimbal, but never mind. There you go. That's the first stage of the diagonals. Now I'm not actually going to put the other ones up to the bottom of that one. I don't believe that's the way to do it, because it's way too much of an angle. You can't actually make that work properly anyway. So what I'll do is I'll run the bar the exact same angle as that one and start it back here somewhere. Back here, it'll be on a Z, sort of come up. I don't know why the gimbal's throwing a spaz today. Must be because I've been working too hard and tight. So yeah, the advantage of that is you might be able to see it better over on the other side. Just down, you can see the seat mounts there, and on the side of the seat is the handle to adjust the seat to slide it backwards and forwards. Now if you put another bar that's just above that bar that's already there, right in that area, it's going to be a pain in the brain to get to the seat adjuster. So I think I'll shift it. It'll look nicer. It'll give you better accessibility for using the vehicle. And we're done. Sunday Arvo. Our man doesn't want to be a cameraman or be on the camera. Fair enough. But there we are. We did get it done. It's a day late. I started a day late though, to be fair. So it's all looking pretty good. We're pretty happy, I think. Is the customer happy? Yep. There you go. he's happy. So this is what I was talking about, doing the door bars a little bit differently to what it had before. I think that's worked out quite well. Looks quite nice. It'll be structurally sound. We've got the extra bar at the bottom end anyway to stop any compression backwards and forwards. So all those door bars are about is stopping nasty things coming inside to say hello to the driver. So we've taken care of that. Sorry if the lighting's not very good. We're pressed for time. We're going to smash the doors back on this, and the customer is away, heading home. So I think the Car Tune Company, one of our mates there, will have some more progress on this car in the future. Updates on it back together going and what happened to it and all that sort of carry on. So alright, if you like, share, subscribe, etc. And we'll let you know what the next thing is we're up to. Cheers, boy!